My name is Edna, and this is Elisha and Danielle, and we're here for another unboxing video. It's been a little bit, but we've got some new books to talk about. Elisha, do you want to start us off?
Sure. So the first one I grabbed, both of mine are nonfiction, by the way, because I don't play by the rules. So I started with Slender Man, Online Obsession, Mental Illness, and the Violent Crime of Two Midwestern Girls. So if you've ever heard of the internet tulpa Slender Man, he's a big scary man that lives in the woods and people sacrifice people to him and go live there in a castle in the woods. I don't know, it's a funny, weird story. But these two girls tried to do that with their friend, and it's a very sad story. It's happy because she survives, but it's also sad because she was their friend. But this is a very interesting story. There was a documentary about Slender Man. I think it was an HBO documentary that was also pretty good. But yeah, it's a good read.
Very cool. Even if you don't follow the rules and get a fiction book.
I do what I want.
That's true. It's fair.
I didn't know there were rules.
There are rules. There's so many rules.
There's always rules.
How about you? Which one do you have?
So the first book I have is Unmasked. My Life Solving American Cold Cases, which is actually quite interesting. It is the biography of Paul Holmes, and he was one of the detectives who helped catch Lacey Peterson and J.C. Dugard's killer.
Yeah.
He also worked on the Pittsburgh homicides and the Golden State Killer. It doesn't just talk about what he did in the cases, but it talks about his internal struggle with what he sees, how he deals with it. He talks a lot about compartmentalization and how unhealthy that is.
I was over here like, yeah, you do that, bud. And you're like, it's unhealthy.
Girl, I looked at you for a reason. So this was actually really interesting. I was just going to read a little bit for it, but I think now I'm going to take it with me to keep and check out for a little while.
Yeah, no, that's an intense book.
It
and
is.
It's not huge. Like, it's
No.
not a big read.
This
but
is one I feel like I could
intense.
read this in a day if I really wanted to.
Right. And there's
So,
pictures. I see
yes.
the line of the
I didn't
things.
see the pictures.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I love
I
pictures.
live for
Pictures.
pictures in nonfiction books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at that. Look at some
So
cool.
it's got his career.
Looks like we even got a little murder
Little
picture a little bit.
Yeah.
Little murder picture.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a little murder picture?
Me, I'm not a super fan of the
Love
murder
them.
pictures. Okay, so my turn. I have Path Lit by Lightning, the life of Jim Thorpe. So I like a good biography. This one's very, 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 very interesting. I'm not a huge sports person, but I do love a underdog struggling kind of story, and Jim Thorpe was there. So he was a Native American from the, I want to say Sac and Fox, am I right? I know it's here somewhere. Sac and Fox Nation. So he had a lot of struggles anyway. We're talking like the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century. And if you haven't heard of Jim Thorpe, he was an athlete. It's not just he did a sport. He was doing all of the sports. So he did professional football, he did professional baseball, but he's best known for his Olympic run. So I think oftentimes we see a photograph of Jim right after one of his races in was it 1912, 1914, whenever the Olympics were then, and he's got mismatched shoes because he couldn't find his racing shoes. And so he just had like a loafer and a tennis shoe on, and he won the gold medal. He was quite amazing. Also, lots of racism was happening around him, and he got thrown under the bus repeatedly by everybody that should have had his back. And so as he got older, he turned to alcohol. He had many, many marriages, lost a lot of money, but then he came back on the other side. There was a lot of struggle, but it felt like he was never really defeated, no matter all of the struggles that he had. So this is a very fascinating biography. Even if you don't like sports, you don't have to like sports to find this one to be a good one.
I mean, if you can win an Olympic medal running with two different shoes on,
Right.
like,
I mean,
you're a tough one to
this
deal
was
with.
a different time, but it doesn't matter how different the time was. That's a thing.
A loafer and running.
A loafer running
That is
shoe.
terrible.
And the
Yeah.
determination to run in two separate shoes, like
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Yeah,
of-
no, he was, there were also
There you
a
go.
swath of photographs, and while I'm not, like I can read a book without pictures, when you have a nonfiction work, it's sometimes nice to be able to relate, like they'll tell you a story, they'll tell you a place, but really seeing it makes a big difference. And like, I flipped through the photographs and I found out he had a twin. I didn't even know he had a twin, who passed away when he was 9. So,
Is that them?
yeah, that's the
Oh.
I don't think that we can show it. We might be too far away. But there's some wonderful photographs in here of him and his family, and also all of the things that he did as he got older. So, good book.
My turn again. Like I said, I have 2 nonfictions. So the second one, I also have a theme. I love true crime and I find murder interesting. So all the living and the dead, from embalmers to executioners, an exploration of the people who have made death their life's work. So I'm just find it very interesting about compartmentalization, how you can cut up a dead body, just to find out what happened to them. I find all of that very fascinating, and so I think this will be a really, really great read, just to see the insight into the people that do this as their life's work. So yeah,
I've always wondered about that field.
I have to.
It's morbid but interesting.
Right.
So that one would be really interesting.
How, yeah, you just surround yourself with the dead, and you're continuing to live. It's just
But comfort with your own mortality.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, hopefully you have it. If
You're
not,
fine.
you're
I mean,
not
if
in
you
that
don't,
business
that's the
very
wrong
long.
field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
My second book is Babysitter. This is a novel about a murder in a high-class neighborhood of the babysitter.
We're babysitter.
Hmm?
I have lots of questions. It's not your fault. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue on.
This book has, it explores topics like classism and how they pretty much ignore the #1 suspect for a long time because of his profession.
Interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting. It has a lot to do, it touches on sexism and topics like that. So I want to read it as well. I need to quit picking off books I want to read.
I need to know if she was babysitting when she was murdered.
Yes.
Oh,
That is awful.
that bothers me.
What about the kids that she was watching? Were they
Right.
okay?
I did not know that. I did not read that far. I was more interested in skimming through to find out who it is, and a lot of who it is not is what I found.
I can't.
Mystery.
I can't.
Yes.
I can't with that.
So,
Good times anyway. So my other one is a piece of fiction called Shutter. I didn't realize, but we have a Native American biography, and this is a Native American author. So this is about a lady who is a forensic photographer. Say that 3 times fast. She has a very good knack of being able to take these photographs because apparently she can see dead people. It's one of those situations where she sees the ghosts of the people that she's taking the photographs of. And she gets called out to a suicide on the side of a road. Turns out that's not a suicide, and that was one angry ghost. And so she latches herself onto our protagonist, whose name Rita. She latches onto her and starts her on a series of events to find out who is the one that killed her. Of course, that puts Rita's life in danger. Rita also has some struggles. Part of it is the seeing dead people, and she is from a Navajo reservation, and she's having family struggles with her grandmother too. So part of it is about leaving, I believe, don't quote me exactly on this, but I believe it's about leaving. Yeah, she was driven off of the Navajo reservation. So a little bit of it is about that, and a little bit of it is about catching a killer with a ghost. So also it's not a very long book, so good quick read. That sounds like it would be very, very interesting.
this makes me wonder, like, in any picture she takes, is there a ghost, or does there have to be, like, a body in the picture for there to be a ghost?
And what if they don't
Interesting.
die violently? I'm not sure about that.
So does she see them in the pictures, or can she see them both in real life and in the
It
pictures?
sounds like she sees them in real life. So it says she's almost supernaturally good at capturing details because she sees the ghosts of crime victims who point her towards the clues that other investigators overlook.
So
Okay.
when she captures the image, do other people see the ghost that she saw in real
No,
life.
there's nothing that says that. It sounds like she's just seeing the dead people. And so I feel like that's what drove her to be a forensic photographer.
Yeah.
Acting like I've read this entire book and I have not. But yeah, no, it looks like it would be a good time.
It seems like we have a theme here. True crime, murder, chaos,
Yeah.
overcoming
Yeah, we really do.
obstacles. What did you say that this one, compartmentalization?
Yes.
So that's made for an interesting haul, Miss
Yeah.
Mo. So if any of you would like to read these books, come on over to the Frank and Allara Library. They're all available for checkout unless we still want to read ourselves. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.
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 Bye.
Bye.